We have Emily Lampkin joining us, Des.
Yes, Emily is a USA Today top-selling author. Emily, we're so excited to have you on the show. The name of your book, Duct Tape and White Lies, A Woman's Practical Guide to Real-Life Success. And tell us what's in your book and why you feel women especially use sorry too much in life.
Glad to be on. My book is all about that. I want something in life, but I don't even know where to start. It is the step-by-step guide. I walk women through exactly how to get there. And one of the things we do to lose a little bit of power is we over-apologize. I think it started out when we were little that it was polite, and then at some point it just became a habitual filler for every moment. So I recommend to women that they either ditch the apologizing altogether, except for when you need to apologize, or replace it with something more meaningful.
Okay, so why do, in the first place, women over-apologize?
I think we got in a bad habit and then never shook out of it. And I think we think that it's polite when actually it just doesn't get us what we want, and we are less powerful when we use it.
So you write a book like this, and I'm sure you get some feedback. I don't know if a story or two pops into your head, but have you heard back from people who say, you know what, I took the concepts that you taught in this book, put them into place, and it's really worked for me?
That's how it all started. I started teaching this in a workshop format called the Women Leader Series all over the country and around the globe. And I would get the feedback from women on how they were using this material in their own life and how effective it was. And if it's everybody from a courtroom attorney who said, I won my case because I've changed my approach to messaging, to women who are cleaning up streams or running for office, or frankly just got a promotion and a pay raise that they had wanted because they're using this information effectively.
Okay, so walk us through how to use it. So when are we kind of using a filler apology, or give us an example of a filler apology versus a real apology, and when we should say sorry?
There's this perplexing thing women do, and some describe it as apologizing for taking up space, where they enter a room and the first thing they do is apologize. And there's no actual even reason for it. Those are the kind of apologies we need to ditch, and you can replace it with some effective phrases, such as I could use, is one of my favorite. I could use some help, some advice, a few more moments. I could use as an easy way to get out of the apologizing. When should you apologize? You know, when you really hurt somebody, or when you did something that's truly disrespectful. The example I always use is when you are late. It is disrespectful. You should apologize for being late. By the way, on time is early. And when you apologize, you should do it once and then move on.
Okay.
Excellent.
So be direct about it, apologize once, and then keep it moving. So what is something, if someone is kind of stuck in that rut, maybe that's just a crutch word. Oh, we all have them
sure,
sometimes.
right.
Or so if sorry is your crutch word, how do we reset ourselves and not use it as a crutch or stop over apologizing? What do you offer, or what's your advice?
In my book is full of these mini chapters I call accessories, which have whole lists of phrases and words you can replace. I have a whole list of how to say no without saying no. I also have a whole list of things you can say other than apologizing. That was not my intention. I'd also like us women to look out for one another. And that means when somebody apologizes to you and didn't owe you an apology, I say, oh, you didn't owe me an apology. We women apologize too much. Let's help each other out here.
What are some other words besides sorry that might put you in that, still in the same sort of light to the person that you're dealing with? You beyond that one word. I know there's a lot more to it, but what do you say about that?
There's almost anything else you exchange it for is probably going to be more effective. And as I said, you can normally ditch it altogether. You apologize and then you make a statement. Just make the statement. The other thing I think women do too much of in this space is oversharing. We end up sharing way too much information about where we are and what we're doing when we can just say we're unavailable at that time and look for a different time.
Oh, well, what do you mean by that? Can you give us an example? Is that like with a colleague, or are you referring like with a boss for oversharing?
Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. The example I always sketch, you can see in my background, I've got a bunch of high school boys who play football. In the fall, that means that Friday afternoons I'm unavailable. I don't tell everybody that I'm at my son's football game. I simply say in a work setting that I'm unavailable at that time. Let's find another time that works.
Okay. So perfect example. And you don't say sorry before that. You don't say, sorry, I'm unavailable at this time. You just get to exactly what you're trying to say, and no need to apologize for not being available in that time frame.
Desiree, brilliant way to thread them all together. Stop apologizing for the fact that you're going to your son's football game and just ditch it all together, and don't tell them necessarily where you are. That way we are allowing other people to decide what our priorities should be.
That's
great.
Because right,
Okay.
why are women so afraid to be assertive and direct? Right.
Especially with men, it's a much more effective way to communicate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Never apologize for going to a football game is good advice for all of us.
Never apologize for putting the family first. Yeah, you're right.
Amen.
Yeah.
All right, Emily.
Emily, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.